Hey Laravel devs, welcome back. Thanks for coming. If you saw the last video, we looked at creating forms using Visual Builder. Now we're going to look at the fields that make up the form and how quick and easy it is to create them or to clone existing fields. So this form here we've seen already. This is the create form. And if we look at the design of that, we can see these fields on the page. And if we go and edit one, we can see what's required to create that action field. So the action field is bound to a model, that is the model's form. We've got a label, we've got a field name, placeholder, input type, so this is linking to a component. Again, you can update the path where components are discovered if you've got your own custom component path. Helpful information that will get shown on the eye. Classes, a wrapper class, a size, that's standard, large or small. This uses the Bootstrap classes. A sort order. The sort order will be updated on the element when you drag and drop it, so ignore this largely here. Then drop down options, we can have a user defined drop down where we'll create our own options, or we can use a dynamic drop down from the database by specifying the class and the method that we want, which should provide an ID and a name, array or collection. Then we've got validation rules, so each field should be validated because we're good developers and we always validate our inputs. So this field, it's the action URL, so it's going to be validated as a named route. This is not a Laravel validator, this is a custom validator that we created to say, is this a valid route in the system? The defaults, I think there's 62 validators in here, so we can use, like, for example, string, or we can look for exists in table and column, and then we're going to update the table to say, let's say, users and in column ID. So that will make sure that this validates as an existing user in the table. We don't want that on this form. Or we can also use custom validation. And our custom validator means we can create a class, a method, and pass any parameters, and that will use our custom validator. Here, by the way, you could also specify using blade format, for example, this ID. So if you've got some dynamic values that you need to validate, you can pass that in here. So that's our validators. And then we've got custom properties. So we've got two different ways of adding custom properties. One with a colon, which means we can put PHP in here and that will get resolved. Or let's say you're doing Cypress testing. Cypress recommends using data-cy, and then we can put a string in here, which might be my input. So that then we'll put that as a property on the input. And then included once will be the custom JavaScript. So in this case, we've got a function that is triggered on change of the dropdown to update the root methods dropdown. So only the appropriate route is saved or is available for this method that's currently selected. So this field gets saved in the database and is then rendered with all of this information. So if we go and look at fields that we've got, so far I've got 91 fields that are used within Visual Builder, and you can copy these. We've got a clone option, or you can just create a new field. But there's enough examples here where we've got a password confirmation, we've got a CK editor, we've got a file, font awesome icon picker, a toggle. What else have we got here? Drop downs, so dynamic drop downs, and we've got small inputs and large inputs, just Bootstrap, small, medium, large. We've got an avatar. If you click the avatar to choose your image, we've got file upload, toggles, and super cool stuff here is a blade editor, so we can write custom blade and save that into the database, which means we can put conditional stuff around forms. So super cool, this stuff here. So there we are. That is the example fields that are already available in Visual Builder, which you can copy and paste.